Welcome into Unfiltered, everybody. A lot to get into today as it pertains to the Philadelphia Eagles and your Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies with a big win last night behind the arm of Aaron Nola. It's been a while since we were able to say that, but a great performance by Nola. We will get to the Phillies a little bit later. But I want to open things up talking about our Philadelphia Eagles because now week one is officially over. You watched the Minnesota Vikings with a late comeback last night. They beat the Chicago Bears in Chicago. And I see a lot of fans on social media. I see a lot of people who consider themselves analysts on social media. And it seems that too many people are concerned about style points after week one. And that's what I want to get into to start the show. I got my man Andrew DeCecco with us. Ricky Bowe still on vacation. But after week one especially, I think you could ask this question across the board for 18 weeks in the NFL. But especially after week one, why do style points matter? You get the damn victory. You get the win, something that this team has done better than anybody, dating all the way back to week 6 last year, all the way to a Super Bowl championship. And now you come out in week one and you win the damn game. Why are so many people concerned with style points, AD?
I don't know. But for me, the way that I view things as a journalist, it doesn't much matter to me either way. Obviously, offense is always really exciting to watch, but the ultimate indicator at the end of the day is winning football games. And the Eagles do that, speaking on the Eagles now, they do that at a remarkable clip. And I think that's really all that matters. If it's not something that catches up to you down the line, then I don't think it's something that should be much of a talking point. But I understand why it is. But for me personally, that's not something I really take into consideration.
No, and listen, it's fair to analyze the teams, especially your own team, on every facet of the game. Offense, defense, special teams, areas that they can improve. And it's fair to want to get better across the board. But when you're talking about a team that just won the Super Bowl and now comes back and finds a way to win in a very strange game. I mean, universally, we were talking about how strange that Thursday night football game was with Carter getting ejected before the first snap, with the rain delay or lightning delay, whatever you want to call it. It was a strange game. And once again, you found a way to win. And when we talk about style points, guess what? Baltimore Ravens looked pretty good, didn't they? Baltimore Ravens had a ton of style points. They put up over 430 yards of offense. And guess what? They are 0-1 on the season because there is something to be said about finding ways to win. And I'm a big Lamar Jackson guy. I think he's a great quarterback. I think most people would agree. His brother John Harbaugh, a great coach. But when you look at the way they handled that game down the stretch against Buffalo, they lost. So I don't care about the style points. They lost the game. They're now sitting at 0-1, and your Philadelphia Eagles are 1-0.
They look good losing.
They look good losing. And I'd much rather – do you ever see White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah.
When he says to Sidney Dean, he says, you'd rather look good and lose than look bad and win. He goes, I know you. So I don't even think the Eagles look bad. Like, yes, they have areas they need to improve upon. But let's start with the offense, Andrew. The offense was extremely efficient, and we keep hearing that word efficient. And Nick Sirianni, when he met with the media yesterday, we carried the press conference for you live here on the show. He was asked about the offense. Listen to Nick.
But what I do think that we were on offense was very efficient. The ball was moving forward consistently. We didn't have a lot of negative plays. I believe we had 1 sack, not a lot of penalties on offense, and the ball moved forward. And so we were efficient.
Efficiency. The ball moved forward. And when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles really over the last couple of seasons, they do what needs to be done to win the damn game. And you look at that offense, of course we want to see A.J. Brown more involved in the passing attack. Devontae Smith more involved in the passing attack. Yes, you want to see Jalen Hurts get the ball down the field to his weapons. But at the same time, they didn't force anything. They were able to get the ball down the field like you just heard from Nick Sirianni. They didn't have a lot of negative plays. Jalen was only sacked once. They didn't turn the ball over. There was no false start penalties. There was very few penalties at all offensively. You ran an efficient offense and you won the game. That's all that should matter.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, they scored touchdowns on their first 3 drives, and they had the field goal. I thought Kevin Patullo really did a nice job in his first game calling plays. Would you like to see A.J. Brown involved earlier than the fourth quarter? Of course, that can't happen, and I don't expect it to happen again. But, yeah, I mean, I think by and large, that's what matters, Bill. Winning games and stringing together successful plays, and that's what the Eagles did offensively. You could argue that the lightning delay took the wind out of both team sails offensively. I thought they were a little bit more conservative. So they're going to have to make sure that they're not doing that against more formidable oppositions. But that's something that they should be mindful of. Now, defensively, they're going to have to clean that up because largely, I mean, they were the ones committing the infractions. They had over 100 yards in penalties, the Eagles, so they have to be a little bit more disciplined on that front.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You want to see them get better on defense and offense. I thought they did well on special teams, but you did get the victory. And I got my man Andrew DeCecco with us today. He'll be here until 4 o'clock, and he's brought to you by Barlow Buick GMC. Barlow Buick and GMC on Route 45 in Woodbury. Check them out at barlowautogroup.com. But I am seeing a lot of fans, and I shouldn't say a lot. I think most fans would agree with us that just get the victory. But I am seeing some fans on social media, and I think I have why this is happening. The 2023 season. Because even Ricky Batalico, who's not with us today, he said to us off air one time, that win reminded me of 2023, talking on Thursday night. And I think people still have some PTSD when you watch that team start the season 10-1, and then you see what happened in the last 7 games of the year where you lose 6 or 7. But that was so different to me. It was clear that they lacked several pieces on defense from a personnel standpoint. Like, they didn't have good linebackers that year. James Bradbury looked like he forgot how to play that year. You really struggled at safety. You had kind of an aging team. And you had coordinators that were unproven on both sides of the football. Sean Desai was unproven. Brian Johnson was unproven. Now, I get it that Kevin Patullo's never done this before, but as we just look at that defense, Vic Fangio's not Sean Desai. This linebacker core is not what it was back in 2023. So although I understand fans who may have a hard time, you saw that team go 10-1, and then look what happened. Style points should not matter when you're talking about a proven team like the Philadelphia Eagles who just won the Super Bowl and a proven defensive coordinator like Vic Fangio.
Yeah, it's not even close. And you haven't even mentioned the mercenaries, for lack of a better term, players who were veterans like Bradley Roby, Kevin Byard, Shaq Leonard. They came to the team in the middle of the season or early in the season, so you're not fully immersed in the culture, and you're not necessarily sure if they're fully bought in, and they're trying to now blend in and find their way with the team that has been together from the spring and the summer. So there's a lot of different intricacies that I think differ, when you're looking at the 23 and 25 seasons. So, I mean, it's just one game. So I think you have to look at around the NFL, like we talked about yesterday, and see some of the other circumstances, whether it be the Rams or, the Lions even, and understand that, yeah, you're not always going to be able to get off to a fast start. It's about winning and advancing and progressing from there.
So I want to hear from you today. Hit us up on the text board, 610-632-0975. Do you care about style points in the NFL as it pertains to your Philadelphia Eagles? Or is a win a win? You just find a way to win games, which it appears that this Eagles team does better than anybody. You saw it last year firsthand. I mean, it is not the norm to win 16 of your final 17 games. And the only one you lost last season, your starting quarterback gets a concussion in the first half. You won every other game that Jalen Hurts started and finished after the bye week. That's incredible. And then you start this year in a week 1 where you didn't have preseason with all the funky things that happened, and you found a way to win again. So is that all that matters to you, or do you care about style points? Hit us up on the text board, 610-632-0975. Coming up, we will introduce our Twitter poll, but we also got to look at the Eagles' newest addition, because Howie Roseman is not done tinkering with this roster, and yesterday he makes a trade that surprised some people for running back Tank Bigsby from the Jacksonville Jaguars. What could all of this mean for the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles? We'll also get into the Philadelphia Phillies a little bit later on in the show. We got an action-packed show today. Barrett Brooks from NBC Sports Philadelphia is going to join us at 4:25. Matt Gelb, who covers the Philadelphia Phillies for The Athletic, he's going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour. So do not go anywhere. A lot more on the table. But coming up, Tank Bigsby, your newest Philadelphia Eagle. This is Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports Philadelphia.